Hi, good morning, everyone. I hope it's not too early for some of you. I wanted to get to you before you all have your morning cup of coffee. If you're in the midst of getting up, getting ready for service, or whatever you do on a Sunday morning, I say to you, good morning, many blessings, and praises going up out to each and every one of you this morning. Okay, I am speaking on the topic Will Smith and Jada marriage, and I want to iterate on some of the information that I've learned about them in the last few days. And I also went through some of the old videos and tapes and listened to other commentators speak on will behavior. Now, before I go into whether or not it was definitely a toxic relationship, I want you to hear the information that Oprah interviewed him on his marriage to Jada and what he said. And then also, I want to lay out on the table why I say for some of you peoples out there, young folks out there, be careful who you marry. Don't rush into a marriage or a relationship that could be toxic before you're prepared for it. So acknowledge that and understand that with a toxic relationship, it comes, things can happen. So be aware of the type of relationship you're getting into. Okay. Signs of toxic relationship I shared in my other videos to you before is lack of support, toxic communication. It could be a partner that's jealousy. It could be jealousy in your relationship, controlling behavior, resentment, dishonesty, or pattern of dis disrespect or negative financial behavior. Okay, these are things that can cause or create a toxic relationship to happen when you're involving yourself in relationships. Okay, this is a marital relationship, and those same things that I just pointed out to you apply to marriage, a couple relationship too. Sometimes the two of you can both be broken and rush into a marriage or a relationship. How can the two of you be in a relationship and both of you broken? That means that that's not something that you are really acknowledging. Someone will have to bring that to your attention and open your eyes so that you can think about things before you involve yourself into a serious relationship for all the wrong reasons. But anyway, I want you to listen to, just hear this here, uh, what Will Smith is saying during a conversation with Oprah. Okay? Give me a minute. I'll let you hear it. The ability to work through issues. Yeah. I've never met another person that I connect with in conversation more blissfully and productively than Jada. Okay. I'm not even going to go into the big blowout party that you had for her. You all read it here at will. That you laid down the red carpet, you had all the friends and and then you all ended up literally, I think that was the thing that actually drove, there already was a wedge, but that 40th birthday party was the final moment when you said you were no longer gonna be in a relationship where you were trying to make her happy. So how long were you all actually separated? Yeah, that was about 10 years ago when he said that when they went into the it's really funny. We didn't open relationship thing. We never actually like officially separated. Right? What happened was we realized that it was a
It was a fantasy illusion that we could make each other happy.
You see what I'm saying,
And
y'all?
we agreed that she had to make herself happy and I had to make myself happy. And then we were going to present ourselves back to the relationship already happy versus demanding that the other person fill our empty cup. You know, and
that should be the prerequisite for anybody actually
Right.
getting married.
Right.
Absolutely. It's like the
come to me whole, come to me with half of your broken self and expect me to fix all the pieces.
The problem is that when you come like that, the cup actually has a hole in the bottom.
Right.
So you pour all your good love in there and it goes out onto the floor.
Because you got two broken people here.
You got two broken people, and that's what we're doing, you know. So there was a, you know, we just decided that you have to figure out how to be happy, you know. And it was a little bit more contentious from my side. I was like, you know what? You go figure it out. You go figure out if you can be happy and just prove to me it's even possible. Right?
Not thinking about your own self.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do me and you do you.
And you say our time apart helped us both to discover the power of loving in freedom. We're simultaneously 100% bound together and 100% free. We agreed that we were both imperfect people doing our best to figure out how to be in this world joyfully. What does it mean to love in freedom?
The simple idea is you love in freedom with everybody except your partner, right? Your kids are going to go off to college and you're going to wait for them to come back, and they might not be able to come back this Christmas, and, you know, you let them go. Your friends, there's a certain fluidity in your interactions.
Right.
It's friendship versus marital prison.
Ooh.
So you get it, everyone? He said it's friendship versus marital issues. Okay? So basically what he's saying is before you get into a marriage that you're not prepared for, or a relationship that you're not prepared for, build a friendship with the person that you're gonna marry before that happens. Take your time. It's no rush to get old or rush to run out there and make babies or leave your parents' home. Honey, if you do that, then you're bound to fall somewhere sooner or later because you wasn't prepared for a relationship that you entered yourself into. Okay? And sometimes you can date a person, say a young person, for instance, you could date a person for a few years, 2 or 3 years, and figure, say, oh, I'm speaking when you're younger, and he's the one for me. Unknowingly, is more to just being introduced or dating from high school age, or it's more to that than the I or than you know. Okay? Examine your options. Live your true self. Be you. Understand you're wanting to be a grown up too fast than maybe you ought to want to be. Take your time to get to know somebody, and do not by all means get into a relationship and say, for instance, you're broken, the other person broken, and then the two of you haven't been together, known each other for 30 days, and already you trying to get married. And then before a year here, then you want to get a divorce. That's signs of being in a toxic relationship. Okay. Now, thing about it is, I admire Will. Will, he's not the type of person. He said he grew up in a solid abusive home or whatever, watching his parents or whatever, and he's not the type of man that go out and want to get a divorce just like by the snap of the finger. If he marry you, he want to be in it for, be in it for any. But in other words, to say he gave her, they had that agreement because they both made their self, they both put themselves in this union. Now, Jada stated in another video that this wasn't her intentions to get really married. She wasn't really into the marriage thing like Will. Okay, but by her being impregnated with Jaden first, then her mother was, in the picture, was wanting her to understand it would be better if she was married before Jada was perceived, or before Jada, entered into the world. And I guess that's what the Smiths did before, Jaden was born. Even though he was, I guess, Jada said that he was her surprise child. You okay? He was a surprise. She wasn't that pregnancy wasn't planned. Okay, but things do happen, and of course she was older now. Okay, I think Jada. I think she was maybe about 27, maybe, when her and Will got married, or she got pregnant at 26, something like that. But anyway, these are and then they, okay, see, because Jada, she talks a lot about a missing Tupac. Since he passed away, they were very close. He was like a brother. They had a relationship like no other. Okay, so he was her deceased bestest and closest friend, you know. But when Will was trying to get Jada, uh, Tupac was still living. This was before the kids even came in the world. Any of their their new kids even came in the world. Her and Tupac was friends. Okay, so moving on. So that was, to Jada, that was like a broken relationship in her heart, that she hadn't gotten over the passing of Tupac and how close they was. And okay, we can understand that sometimes it take effect on you. It takes some years to recover from lost loved ones. Okay, and then Will's brokenness before they got married was his first wife, Sharice. Now, Sharice divorced Will. He didn't divorce her. According to her, she divorced him. Okay, I don't know. Was it because of Jada, or whatever? But Jada, she made it perfectly clear that her and Will did not wasn't doing anything sexually, intimately, at all. They were just talking, okay? And yeah, Will had eyes for Jada. He said that he went to meet Jada, was going to be introduced to by his friend Alfonso to Jada, and end up meeting and marry Sharice instead. But his intention was to be with Jada, because that's who he was out to be with in the beginning. He said he knew he had to have her. He knew he had to be with her. That was who he wanted. He was in love with him some Jada. Okay? All right. But things didn't turn out that way anyway, because both of them were still broken from the loss. Jada was broken from the loss of Tupac, and he was broken because his first wife divorced him. And must I remind you, Will Smith is not the type of guy that believe in divorces. Okay, his intention was never to divorce his wife. Okay, but you know, Sharice had enough, so she divorced him. Okay, and you know, by her letting go, she cut it loose and let it go, and she moved on to something better herself. She got, as I can recall, she have a new husband, who is a minister or something of that nature, which is good for her. Okay, and then for them to come together and communicate as a family as a whole, her communicating with Jada. At first she had some difficulties with Jada, but then her communicating with Jada, and they accepted her son to be a part, which is Will's natural born son, by another mother, of course. She accepted him in the family as one of their own. So, you know, that was a good situation. But as far as Will and Jada relationship, I'm just gonna leave it in the hands of the Lord and say they both knew what they were getting into when they agreed to have that open relationship. Whether they set boundaries, they should have set boundaries. Usually, in a relationship, in your marriage, and you're trying to fix something, then you have to have open conversations about what it is, what type of relationships you're getting in. If there's boundaries, you set them. Obviously, there couldn't have been no boundaries as to what would make Jada or Will happy. It was just no boundaries. And if there was, we just don't know about it. So let's just keep ourselves and our sanity together and just wish them the best and reunited, finding the love within the two of them. Or are they still in love, or is this the end of their marriage? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. He did defend his wife's honor, but in another video, I heard her say he didn't have to defend my honor. So what is that saying to us people? That's words say a lot and put a lot of things in people's mind. Maybe there's not a miscommunication going on right now that needs to be straightened out between the two of them. Because like Will said, he's not a man that likes divorces. And that's his truth. And when he speak with sincerity and direct. And I've never knew a Will to be a man to. I've never seen him do anything out of control like that. He was one of the. He is and still is one of the nicest cats, I believe, that's out there in Hollywood. Except for that night at the awards. You know, too many eyes are in everybody's relationship instead of minding their own business. You're in what's going on in the household to make him act such a way. How do you know what was happening in his household to make him act such a way? You know, we can all point the fingers and say nay and say this, but when we hear him actually say a speech and what was going on, then we'll hear the truth. Okay, because I remember he when him and Jada first got together, they made this song, this music video. It was 1,000 Kisses. They looked like the happiest couple, like they were gonna be together forever, and all this good stuff on top of cheesecake and pie. But it didn't work out like they wanted it to. So let's keep a positive mind, and let's keep them in our prayer moving forward. And say, I say peace, love, and happiness to all of you, from my house to yours. And stay blessed, you hear? And don't go out there doing anything today that you're not supposed to do. And remember, I am here to talk about and walk you through the different relationships that's going on out there today. Peace, light, and love to you. And from my house to yours. Bye for now.